Hey guys, Sifu Ed here from Metrolina Martial Arts with a quick video today on Kali training gear and what you need to start. So generally when people think of Kali, they think of the stick, and no better way than to test out different sticks, also different types of sparring sticks, as well as knives and then swords and things like that. So the first one up is the rattan stick. I normally wrap my sticks with like an overlay grip for tennis. The reason I do that is so I can swing the stick here and actually hang on to it and not worry about my hands getting super sweaty or me losing control with it. I know in a previous video that I posted, I'll link to that up in the card up there, about me and training with my hands, because I have less fingers than most people, is I need all the help I can get with my grip, and this really helps it out, especially when you're really sweating in here. When you're trying to like get, combat ready, sometimes like if you have a match or something like that coming back up, these things can get really slippery and they'll slip out of your hand. So I like to wrap mine with the overlay. But anyway, the rattan stick is nice. This is a pretty thin one. I think this is 1.5 inch. I doubt it's 3/4 of an inch or 5/7 or whatnot, but they come in different widths. The problem with the rattan stick is that a lot of times, you can see with this one, is that it kind of shreds. You can hear it, right? It's one of those things that the more you use it, the more it splinters and kind of disintegrates. But it's a lighter stick. You can swing it a lot and move it around, and you're totally good to go, right? Same with the right hand. It doesn't really matter. You have a lot of dexterity and whatnot with it. Because it's a lighter stick, but it does degrade over time. Stick pricing varies depending on where you get them from. Here at Metrolina Martial Arts, we think we have them for $15 a pop, so $30 for a set, and it runs you okay price, but again, like I said, they shred. And also, the cleanup for them is not super fun. We do jiu-jitsu on these masks. The last thing I want is a splinter in the eye. So that's something to think about when you're getting Filipino martial arts equipment, including the stick. Okay, next we have the Balicki Stick, named after my instructor here, Guru Ron Balicki. He and Cold Steel developed these types of sticks. He has a much better review on them, on how they're made, what they're made of, and things like that. But we sell them here at Metrolina Martial Arts. I believe it's 25 per stick, so 50 total. Difference here is they take a beating. You can swing these and hit as hard as you want, and there's really no repercussions on breaking the stick. An issue with the Balicki stick is if you're partnered with someone with the rattan, a lot of times, this can eat through a rattan stick pretty easily. So you have to kind of hold yourself back if you're working with someone when you have the Balicki stick and they have a rattan stick. But you can control it. It's all in there. Sometimes you work with people with thinner sticks and you're swinging it at them, and you chew through their sticks too. I've seen guys with freaking tree trunks. They're swinging the tree trunk around. Yeah, you're gonna eat through the people with tiny sticks. That maybe if they're going to like a seminar or something, they're trying to learn. They're not trying to super impress. They're trying to get the technique down. Then go home later, train with a heavier weapon, and start swinging it around. And you pop and hit, whatever. And that's what you can do with the heavier stick. Then you put a lighter stick in your hand. You feel like Superman. And you're swinging around so freaking fast. So yeah, that's a Balicki stick. These things are great. They're freaking solid. They're a little weighted. They're not super heavy, but they're heavy enough to where you feel the forearm burning a little bit. It's good for you. Like I said, when you put in a lighter stick or a sparring stick out of that, you feel like Superman. More so, just the cleanup on this as a school owner has been fantastic. I don't have to worry about sweeping up after Kali class if there's a jiu-jitsu class or rolling or something like that afterwards, because there's no splinters from sticks. So the Balicki sticks are really great for that purpose. As a school owner, I'm particularly a big fan. Again, this is the Balicki Stick with my instructor here, Guru Ron Balicki, made by Cold Steel. That's generally your main choices with sticks. There are other brands and other types of sticks you can get. You can get bamboo and things like that, but generally most people get the rattan, and then the Balicki stick as well, as it's starting to make it out there, which is good because it is a solid quality stick. And I know I'm biased, but it's pretty good. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and move into some of the sparring sticks that we use here at Metrolina Martial Arts. All right, this here is the Bunal sparring stick. It's actually more of just your training stick. They make another one that is a sparring one. I'll bring that out here in a second. But this one is like your normal training one. It's padded. I think it's a rattan wrapped stick with padding on there. These have been great. I love sparring with these. I specifically like the handle. Sometimes I'll have the handle and I'll flip it up and move it around. But I do like these. They've got a bit of weight to them compared to rattan, but they're lighter than the Balicki stick. So once you swing around the Balicki stick, and then you pick up this, you feel again. You're whipping it in and out. You don't have to move. You get it in there, and you feel really good about it. You know, it's got a nice wrap here. You can see we've been using ours. The wrap is kind of worn a little bit, but these are really solid training sticks. We really like them. They can take a hit. They can hit body. They can hit other sticks pretty well. Where these things don't quite measure up sometimes is when they hit a face mask, like a fencing mask. The fencing mask is metal, and hitting metal sometimes. Man, you get some people in here swinging like freaking heavy hitters in the baseball MLB, but you know, sometimes these don't last through a hit like that. But yeah, no, these are really solid. I really like these. These are the Bunal training sticks. This is the Bunal sparring stick. It's pretty similar to the other one. The only difference is it doesn't have the little thing on the end here. I like these a lot, man. These are good. They're good weighted sticks. You can swing them through again. They've got the nice wrap on them. We've used one. We've broken one when we hit boom right onto a face mask, snapped it in the middle. So that'd be like the only downside of these. Sometimes they do break. That's kind of like the rattan you can see here. That's kind of the only downside of it. And also puño strikes are a little nastier when you got the actual wood or dang near wood exposed, as opposed to the training stick that has the kind of like the poof ball thing at the end, the puño. So yeah, that's the Bunal actual sparring stick. Next we have something else from Cold Steel. Looks familiar, right? Looks just like the Balicki stick. That is by design. These are the same length of the Balicki stick. They're made by Cold Steel, and they are a padded stick. I freaking love this thing. It can take a beating. I haven't hit a face mask full on yet. So once I get that, I may amend the video. With that footage there. But man, these are great. So with my hand issue that I mentioned in my previous video, these have been the only sticks that I've been able to hang on to and actually make contact and make hittings with, or make contact and hit something with. A lot of times if I hit something with the other stick, it hurts my hand too much. The reverberation. Wow. The reverberation hits too hard and it gets in there and I can't do it. Like right on the palm, like my palm there gets beaten up. So these here, it has a little bit of give. So when I squeeze it there, it kind of, you know, absorbs some of that death grip that I'm having onto these sticks. But I can swing it around here with no problem. And I know, I almost feel as strong as I do with my left hand, since I am left-handed. You know, so it is kind of nice where I can hit and return, hit, move, and be able to do all that without worrying about hitting and losing the stick. Okay, so that's these new padded sticks from Cold Steel. We're not selling them yet. We got to get a little bit more inventory, but right now we're in the test phases with them, and I'm going to let you know. I'm really excited about these though. Really excited. That's generally it with our sparring sticks. Next, we're going to move into training knives. Training knives, man, you could go any which way with these. A lot of times when you do training knives, you can't really go wrong. Personally, I'm a fan of metal knives over rubber because either they're harder and you kind of get that cold sensation on your skin, and it kind of triggers a different response. So I got several different kinds here, some of which I don't even know where I got, but I'll start with the rubber ones and go from there. So this one here is Cold Steel, single-edged knife. These are great, good sparring ones. You know, you can get hit with it. It doesn't, doesn't hurt a lot. I wouldn't get hit in the face with it, but you can take a hit with it and it's not the end of the world. It'll sting us. Obviously, you get hit on the hand, it won't feel great. But it works. It does what you need to do without getting cut. This is Ronin gear. I don't know what company this is. I think I bought these off of revgear.com. And I like them. They're good. These are really good training knives. They're inexpensive. I don't know how much the cold steel one was. I sell these for $15. These are like your introductory knives. They got a little bit of rub on, so like if you try to practice a disarm something, they bend. Not the greatest in the world for that, but they're not bad. They're really good introductory training knives if you don't want to spend a whole lot of money. All right, now we got into the metal bits. So one of this is an Inosanto signed blade, not signed, but engraved Inosanto blade. I love this knife, but it sucks to train with if you're on the other end. You get whacked with it. Oh, even that hurt. You get whacked with it. Yeah, it's not the funnest thing in the world. I've had complaints on it. So a lot of times when I'm doing knife work, I don't use this one. If I'm doing just demo, like single knife stuff, I'll do it. But if I'm doing like stick and dagger, I can't. I'm too mean to my partners, and I want to keep my training partners. Keeping your training partners happy is really important. And you keep hitting them, man, they're gonna complain. And you want to keep training with them. You don't want them to be upset. So that's my one complaint on this Inosanto brand knife. The next one here is your pretty standard metal training knife with the holes in it so you can't sharpen it. I like this a lot. A lot of times you sit here and you spin it around, which is super disrespectful to the knife, and really you should never do that, but you do it anyway because it's there. But I like these a lot too. Again, you have the metal feeling on the skin. They're solid, and they're pretty inexpensive as well. I don't remember where I got this, but I've had it for a long time. But you can find them online. That gets us through the training knives. We do have sparring knives as well. This is the Lameko training blade. I love this thing. You whack, and no, I'm just kidding. But you can take a hit with it, and it's kind of nice. I like this because if you're training knives, you should be training with knives of similar sizes. And I'll tell you what the most common knife size used in knife attacks is about this size. It's the kitchen knife. Right? So you kind of need to know what to do. Now, you're not a knife fighter. You're not going to run in and try and disarm or anything like that. But sometimes you need to have answers. And that's why we do that in Golly, right? That's a separate video entirely on knife defense and things like that. But we do use this. I like this a lot. It's weighted really well. I'm here and you can get that hit and go. It's a lot of fun to use. I'm really glad that they make these. You can go to, I would Google it, Lameko International or Lameko Eskrima International. And I'll have links for everything in the description that I can find. Made in the USA. The smaller one from the Lameko Eskrima line. This is, for more of a folder. It's a smaller knife. If you have, some people like to train with like their own home knives, and they grind it down to make it an understudy. That's one thing that I know Guru Ron has. He has like the big Voyager, the one pictured right behind me, and he has that one shaved down so he can actually train with it. But this is kind of like that, right? Where you have something similar size, where it's a smaller thing, you can get the cuts. You know where your range is. Whereas if I could hit the camera before with the other one, now I can't. So you have to be able to train, with the different types of knives that you own. Last but not least, we have, oh man, the logo's rubbed off. Well, we have these guys. We have a nickname for them that's not safe for TV, but the idea here is, again, like the other Lameko ones, it's got a grip on here. Some people like that where you can hit and you have the kind of the action there. It's padded. You get hit with it. It doesn't feel great. Again, not like getting hit with stick or metal though. So I like these a lot. These are pretty simple. Again, they're smaller, so like some people have the smaller knives. They can use that and actually train the distancing with it as opposed to a longer crazy knife. Okay, that concludes our what you need for Filipino martial arts training here at Metrolina Martial Arts or any other school generally. A lot of times some people provide training equipment. We do in the beginning because we don't want you to have a huge investment. You come in, you walk in, oh boom, you have to put in like $500 down in equipment on a trial. So what we want is we want you to come and try the class. If you like it, then you can get the equipment and go from there. So yeah, that's kind of all the things that you need for training here at Metrolina Martial Arts in our Filipino martial arts classes. If you have any questions, be sure to drop them in the comments. Let me know any type of products that you guys like to use in your training for calling. And make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification to make sure you don't miss a video from us. We'll be putting out videos like this hopefully every other week, and that way you can have kind of a good repertoire for those beginning in the martial arts journey, especially with the Filipino Kali, which is such a fun and complete system. Here, if you're in the Concord, North Carolina, or Charlotte, North Carolina area, be sure to stop by Metrolina Martial Arts. We're up here in downtown Concord. We are a fun place to train. We're super family friendly, family oriented, and we like training realistically, combat testing things. We're not just doing stuff that's flowery and things like that. Not that, if I see a guy with this type of knife, you know what I'm doing. I am running. But yeah, thanks again for watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and like the video. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. Again, let me know what type of training equipment you guys use in the comments. That all being said, we'll see you guys in the next video. And with that, party on. Got an ambulance or something.